Okay, looks like we're live. I just want to reintroduce myself and talk about my business that I have and what's going on. And throughout these shorter videos, kind of a mini podcast deal, I want to review deer management, deer knowledge, deer biology, everything about deer. My name is Kasey Thren, Kasey with a K, Thren with a T. My website is www.completedeer.tv or .com, Complete Deer. If you Google that, it should pop up. There's a YouTube page with tons of videos. I think I got 150 videos on there. And I just kind of want to, again, reintroduce myself and get back to the basics of deer management, if you will. My education kind of getting to this point is many things, but as far as passing along information about quality deer management come from the Quality Deer Management Association, which is now the National Deer Association. And I'll put links to all this stuff in the description. I started Complete Deer Management LLC in 2013. Well, I started it before that, but officially it was 2013, and that's what I've been doing full time for 10 years now. It's been a long go because in the beginning, it wasn't, obviously my name is not out there. I'm not posting and shooting large bucks. I am not a huge personality. I don't have big sponsorships. And quite frankly, I had 2 young children at the time. One of his special needs with a birth defect called spina bifida. And I was kind of a stay-home father at the same time. My wife worked full-time, a pretty demanding job. And so I watched kids, and here I am. So it took me a long time to build up the business and consulting at the time. So that's kind of what I was pushing. For one thing, people didn't even know what it was or that it was even available. And you had to have a big name, Tony LaPratt name, Dr. Grant Woods, Jeff Sturgis. Those guys have been doing it for a very, very long time, 20, 30 years at this point. I just did my best in my area. And what that was and how it kind of got my foot in the door was planting a lot of food plots. I do have a horticulture degree from Ferris State University, but it's the same but different. Growing plants is growing plants. You gotta figure out what the plant needs, figure out what's in the soil, and plant it the best of your ability. Seed to soil contact, conditioning the soil, and fertilizer. And I've been doing a lot of things. And so I built the business up. So I have, for the past 6 or 7 years, have a regular 20 to 25 different properties that I go on and plant about 100 acres of food plots per year. Along with other things, I plant switchgrass and I kind of do whatever the property owner would like me to do or whatever we discuss and come up with as a plan together. And I work with the property owner for as long as they'll have me. That could mean just a plan, which I don't like necessarily doing just a plan. I also like to implement the plan or at least help somewhat implement the plan. Usually involves timber management, a forester. I work with a forester that helps me around here. And I will travel as far as food plots go. I'm in central Michigan, Clare, Michigan, about 60 miles. Because other than that, I'm pulling a tractor around and it gets quite expensive, especially these last couple of years now. It was going really, really good up until about, COVID basically hit. That is a little about me. I've been Hunting since 1987 is when I shot my first deer with a bow. It was a doe. I was 13 years old, so you could do the math. And so 2024 is a big year for me as far as birthdays go. Ever since then, I really enjoyed shooting a bow. I had the old leather 3-finger, but at the time I didn't know anything about deer. I know was interested in taxidermy in the late 80s, early 90s. And this was right before baiting I started hunting, and then right into baiting. So my quality, I can't say quality years, but my younger years of bow hunting involved bait. Around early 2000s, heard about the Quality Deer Management Association, but really didn't know what it was. I think I bought one membership, and again, didn't know what it was. And the QDMA at the time got a bad rap for early 2000s killing all the does. Well, right in the early 2000s, I started shooting larger antlered bucks, and common sense to me was I wanted to do more of that. I had my fill of yearling bucks, if you will. I hate to say that now because you never know the age of the buck, but spikes and 3 points and 4 points and stuff like that. I just had the thrill of shooting a bigger antler deer was really attractive to me. Nothing against, look, I've been there, done that. I'm not here to judge anyone, and everybody, all hunters are on different paths, especially when you have such a large, nowadays, 8-year-old hunters or lower mentored hunters, all the way up to the senior hunters. Everybody is so different in their hunting journey, if you will, that it's so hard to say one thing works or one thing's better than the other. It's personal preference. And quite frankly, it's so difficult to manage wild animals, wild deer. They can jump property lines, and these days the smaller properties the bigger properties are getting cut up into smaller properties. There's less farming, there's more commercial farming, harder to get on some ground, private ground especially. So again, I'm not here to judge, I'm not here to I'm here for all. I'm trying to do this for all, and I have no reason to sit here and point fingers and tell people what to do. That is not. I am going to try to pass on solid scientific information. I'm going to put the links, everything I say. If I say something like average deer home range is 640 acres or 1 square mile, I'll put a link to that and where I found that. And that kind of leads me to, if you have any information or want to know any information about deer, example, like I just said, how much food does a deer eat? After you put that in Google search or a search engine, put QDMA or NDA, National Deer Association. A lot of good articles will pop up, and all this information has been learned throughout the years. There was a guy named John Ozunga from Michigan, did tons of studies and information throughout the 60s, 70s. I think QDM was first kind of developed in the late 60s with the brothers, Al brothers. Can't remember the other guy's name. Hopefully I can not jump around too much on you, and you could follow along. I'm going to try to stay on topic and try to keep these good, solid, just simple information. Try to keep these videos shorter, under 10 minutes. I'm already over, and go from there. So I'm going to end the video today. Please subscribe. So I'm going to try to pump these out as best as I can. I always say that, but it's so difficult with my schedule. Twin girls that are in 6th grade, senior that's wrestling. You don't know when school is going to be in or out. I don't know where I'm going to physical therapy, what days. So it gets very difficult. And this past year, I started doing taxidermy as part of my winter work, because consulting is basically kind of getting saturated out there with people, but there's tons of good information that you can find online about what to do, where to do it. The problem I see is some people may not be able to organize all of that information. I'm going to try to do that for you with developing a new piece of property or developing the property you've had for a long time. I'm still working on many clients' properties I'm working on some of the ones I originally started in 2007, 2008, 9, when I was kind of doing it part-time myself. So thank you for watching this. If you have any suggestions, please, I want to be as much engaged with the viewership as possible. I do have one question to ask, and I'm going to put this in the link below too, is I kind of jump around with names. My ADHD, of course, not scientifically proven, my deer hunting disease kind of bounces me around a little bit in my brain. So I want to become a better communicator. I think that's where this deer management needs to go into the future, especially with Michigan and all the different online chat forums. And I just don't want to, I just want to pass along solid information so you can make the decision on what to do. Thanks for watching. God bless you. God bless our troops, and God bless America. See you next time, and God bless.